Okay, so we got some like blackout questions or something here today. If you can hear some banging and stuff in this episode, we've got some guys on the roof fixing the AC finally.
Yay!
I've mentioned the AC problems on my vlogs. Some people will know. I don't think everybody watches my vlogs that watch the reacts and vice versa.
It sucks tattooing when it's really hot,
Yeah.
and it's like really hot in our city right now.
We've
so.
had an ongoing problem with our AC that for the last few months it just keeps coming back from the dead kind of thing. So
Awful. Anyways, okay, so this first one, titled Blackout from Nicholas, says...
yeah, it's Nicholas again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about it, blackouts are more so plastic surgery than they are tattoos.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think you'd have to widen your whole definition of plastic surgery too, to incorporate all kinds of things if you're going to do tattoos.
I think body mod is more so tattoo or more so plastic surgery.
Well, I mean, but like, what is body mod then?
Like
breast implants? Then,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's like body mod already encompasses that stuff, I think.
I think you can use tattoos to change the shape of your body, but you can use makeup to do the same thing.
You can change the look of the shape of your body.
The perception.
I mean, unless you really fuck someone up, you shouldn't be changing the actual physical structure of someone's body with
Right.
tattooing. But I actually think that it does lead into the topic of like body mod in general, and
Right.
I think that includes everything like haircuts and makeup and
Corsetting,
all kinds of things that
weightlifting, all of it. Anything
yeah.
that changes your physique from a natural state to a different
well, I mean,
state.
what is a natural state, right?
Well,
We all
whatever-
have different natural states.
Whatever
so-
your at-rest state is.
And also, like, I actually think that my weight loss in like 2009 was the biggest body mod I ever did.
Yeah, well, I agree. I think that
So-
weight loss and weight gain could be...
I don't think that most people have a actual healthy or accurate outlook on what body modification is.
Mm-hmm.
And most people who, like, for example, they're doing things that are body mod, they don't tend to think they are.
Well, I think
And then they
anytime
find,
you're
like-
imposing your will on your body.
Well, and that's trimming your nails.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well.
it's all things that we do.
Yep.
So it's like everyone out there, even drunken redneck Hank that, you know, just got his hair trimmed the other day, he's engaging in some form of body mod, even if he finds me with a mustache through my nose particularly strange. He is on the spectrum, whether he likes it or not.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it doesn't matter if he agrees with me either. He's wrong if he disagrees with me. It's all body mod.
I think so, too.
So I don't think that tattooing is any more plastic surgery than getting a haircut is.
Yeah.
If you want my opinion on that. But yeah, Nicholas is just chiming in every now and then in my emails still. So I like this character, so I'm just gonna keep kind of featuring his little tidbits here.
I think Nicholas enjoys you, too.
He's a running gag on the show.
So from the next one, we got Nick. And he says...
Another Nick.
What?
Another Nick, eh?
Yeah, Nick Violetto is what their name comes up as. Says, "Hey Remy, I've been following you for some time now, and you have given me hope on adding color/white over black to my poorly executed Japanese traditional tattoo. As you can see in the pic attached, there are wind bars that randomly stop on the middle of the back. Oh geez. So I wanted to add something to make the tattoo more complete. Well, I finally got around to doing my first color/white and black over black session. I like that he's,
Including
saying...
black.
Yeah, there's black in there. I added some flowers. My biggest concern is getting the lines that started as bare skin to match up better with the parts that have color over black. What would you suggest to make those lines that were bare skin not to be noticeable? Would you add some black in those parts that were bare skin, then let it heal and then go back over with color? Or do you think I can have enough color saturated in those spots that it won't be noticeable? Attached is a before and after picture. I look forward to your response and really appreciate your opinion."
Like right away without even seeing it, I think like the answer is always just do more passes on the black, right? I wouldn't go messing with trying to change the actual like negative space blue. because I think after a certain amount of sessions on the black, it's almost like the color on black becomes the color. Right? That's been my experience. Like, look how fucking bright red that is.
It's very bright.
It's ridiculous.
And the yellow is exactly what that yellow comes out as. Nick also says, I forgot to mention that the pick was taken fresh. I don't have a fully healed pick yet. It's in the peeling phase right now, and this was in July, so it's healed now, but
yeah, we'll settle
we're a
that
little
a little
behind.
bit. Whatever you see will have kind of
So this is
tapered off a
the
bit.
original one where the wind bars are kind of stopping in strange places.
It's funny to me, you know, like, this is, like, pretty rigid. Obviously, the flow is not great, right? Like, it's pretty choppy.
Yeah.
Like, it looks too, like, the idea was for all of this to look more soft.
Yeah.
Everything was so firm in here. But, like, he's sending us this, and he's not happy with it. We have people send us things that are god-awful, and they're, like, thrilled to show.
Yeah, this is not the worst that I've seen.
Fuck no. Although it is, like, when you see those little tight formations up there, the little wave formations, they're all a little bit off. Right? Like, that's just, it's a little glaring when you look at it, because you're like, they don't look quite right. Like, the lines are a little too shaky. And when
The person's just not comfortable in this style at all.
when you do these, like, clusters of, like, these, like, exact formations like this,
You want them to be exact.
yeah, if they're not, the whole thing looks a little bit odd. Right? You have it in the bigger ones too, but, like, in the bigger ones, there's more space, so they're not as tight, and you don't really, it doesn't draw your attention to it. I also don't know what happened here.
No.
Just kind of gave up. It's just like an afterthought. It just kind of, it's like negative space that didn't get filled or something.
Wow,
I wonder if there was some idea in there.
Well, I just think this is like, I put a piece here, and then I'm just going to fill black and wind bars and waves to try and make it look like
Yeah, what
had
do
a
I do with
plan
this
for
negative
whole
space?
Sleeve, right? We see a lot of artists just packing black. I've seen several
Just
artists
why
just packing
bother
black.
with the wind bars at that point? Like, they're just so,
Yeah.
like, whatever. Well, whatever. This looks better.
Yeah, I actually do like this better.
Yeah, I see what he means here, and you know, I think that it's just, like I said, just gonna need to do more passes. I think especially if this is just his first one, like, that's not, you know, really much.
I don't hate this.
I don't hate it
Because,
anyway.
like,
It's got
to
a
me,
natural highlight
Those
to
wind
it.
bars, they stopped being wind bars, and now they're like a light bar. And,
It's
and
better.
The flow is still there. Like, I don't hate it. Like, I think I would be able to live with this.
I think I would continue adding them.
Yeah.
Why not?
More
Like, why not
flowers.
just do more? Like,
Yeah.
just not everywhere, but, like, maybe another one here.
I think that, like,
Here.
the artists that did these did a really lovely job.
I can tell you right now, though, that this is in the peeling stage. Do we have another picture?
No,
just this
just
one.
this one.
And the abyss here. This is the best it's ever going to look.
Right.
So, like, it's probably pretty banged up right now if he hasn't done another second pass.
Yeah.
The light blues over black are tough.
Yeah,
So-
you know this.
We already went over this with that guy who had that the color flowers on his arm, and I said, you know, they looked a little thin, right? And it's like, they're one of the hardest ones to do. It just is what it is. Also, like, I think it's better whenever you do these color pieces over black is to have more than one. Like, it's good they did the black, but it's good to have more than one tone in there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that they did that. Like, I think it's just the same color and it's interacting differently with gray and black shades. But, like, if you did, like, a medium blue or, like, a dark blue with a light blue highlight, you can see the light blue a little better. And the darker blue is going to have an easier time conquering that black as well.
Yeah.
So-
And I'm also wondering, and this might be like a silly question, but the color theory me wants to, when I'm tattooing this, where I'm putting my blue over top of fresh skin as opposed to over top of black, I want to, like, dip my machine. I want my blue, but then I want to dip my machine in a like maybe a 20 or 40%.
I don't think that's the right
to, like,
call.
try and color match.
No, I don't think so. I think that you're just going to get a different result, and it might not match up still. And so when you go in and you do the second passes with these same colors, like, you're not going to be mixing the second pass with the 20%, right? So the
Yeah.
idea is, like, you don't want to darken the negative space. You want to brighten the black.
Okay.
Because you can eventually get that black very bright.
I know,
right?
but I like, to me, it just seems like...
It seems like that would work, but I think you're just adding more elements in there. And like, unless you have a lot of experience fucking around with these things and the client doesn't give a shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, proceed with caution, because you don't know what that's going to translate to.
I mean, on the second pass, too, like, if I had matched the colors up well on the first pass, on the second pass, I would use full color.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, that 20% may just conquer all that light blue.
Right, that's
Like,
always a worry.
The light blue pigments are very weak. They're not strong. Some pigments are way stronger than others. Like red on black and even like yellow and some of the greens, like they seem to just bully the fuck out of the black.
Right.
Like red in particular, I found just, it's like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm coming. Like it just conquers.
Anytime anybody like comes in and they're like, I want to cover this black thing, I'm like, cool, we can do it with red.
Yeah, so light blues aren't real strong.
No.
And light, like things that don't have a lot of pigment, if you introduce black into them, it may just eat it up, right? So what you might get is now all of a sudden, for some reason, the negative space that had the black infused into the color may even be darker.
Yeah.
Like it's like, because all those things are going to mix too, right? It doesn't just continue, like just mix when you're mixing it in the cap. Like it's going to mix all throughout, and whatever pigment is stronger is going to win out, right? Unless you get enough of that other pigment in there, the pigment you want, to where you're offsetting the balance, and now you have more blue than black. But like, I definitely wouldn't. It seems like it would be a good idea, but I think it will fail in execution. Especially maybe in a hardier tone, like a blue that had more blue in it. But that blue there that he's using, you can see it's damn near white, right?
Yeah.
Like you can see that color truly on
Yeah, it might make it maybe a bit too green or something.
It's going to do things that you're not expecting.
Right.
I've had a lot of people ask me things like that, and I don't, unless you're someone like myself, where you're like, let's go, I don't give a fuck, let's try it. I don't think it's really wise to be experimenting like that on like random clients.
Makes sense.
Without having prior experience with a lot of color play, because like those tones are all going to interact in funny ways. So I think in a stronger pigment maybe, but I don't think it's wise in a light blue.
Cool. Should we move on?
Yep.
Excellent. So the next one says, hey man, I'm from the UK, love your videos. What would be the best way to cover this, and is it even possible? Thanks. And that was from Peter. And Peter has a tribal mess.
Well, he's got a tribal cover-up of a mess, right? Like there was something under the tribal.
Best way to cover this is black it out.
Well, it looked like he had some tribal before, too, in places. And then he did like a bigger tribal.
Yeah, full blackout.
So you can do that, but like you could also go travel to an artist that, like, if you really don't want to blackout, like Anthony Bennett is doing these now where he's just like blasting like white and black on black over things, but you can still kind of see the old shit through it.
Yeah, a blast over.
It's a blast over, but it's kind of like a blackout cover up.
Like
right?
a better blast over.
I don't love those ones as much.
Yeah.
Because there's too much going on in them. I feel like those things would drive me fucking up the wall when you can see like old tones and old images kind of like distorted in the background. And I would think that if the thing happens that people are always worried about like things mixing over time, then some of those tones that aren't fully covered are going to start like kind of re-emerging in places.
Yeah.
But like not everywhere, but like maybe just a hint here or there. And like it's just going to make the top image look, I think, a little bit funnier in time. I think blast overs are worse than full cover-ups, I think. Because like a full cover-up, you're covering all of it, right? But anyway, there's also things you can do like with opaque work. You could go see like an Andre Makishi we covered on this channel, or you could go visit a Masakrov, right? Like it doesn't have to be these people, but like
people who are doing similar things or have these things in their skill sets.
But like a full blackout is definitely better than what this is. Like it almost looks like
is a blackout.
It almost
already.
looks like a blackout now.
Yeah.
right? Like, what troubles me is there was some intention at some point to continue this. Right? You can see that with the chest.
Right.
Like, at some point, he was happy with what was happening.
Yeah, I would just run it over as a blackout, and then I would start seeking out, if you want not to have a blackout tattoo, I would just start seeking out an artist that's willing to do black on black, white on black, color on black.
They're very rare. Like, I get so many people who are like, "Oh, I've talked to an artist and he says it doesn't work." Like, the amount of people who tell me that all the time, it's like, what? The only thing that I can really recommend is that, like, you just get familiar with an artist that's good. Mm-hmm. You build some kind of a bond.
Yeah, have some trust there.
Because, like, a lot of them don't want to get into it with people because they know that they're not going to get to the end of it.
Well, and like a lot of the times, like, people will turn around and burn you if it doesn't work out the way you want it to in the
How
first
many,
place.
like, unfinished projects, right? Like, it's just going to be like, oh, well, we got like a handful of sessions in and they stopped coming. Mm-hmm. Like, I talk to a lot of guys that send in emails looking to do these kinds of projects. We just had a consult with one on Sunday. He's not booked in.
No,
because they hear the reality. Well, they hear the reality of it, and it's like, oh, it's going to be a lot of sessions. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, of course it is. Like, what were you expecting to happen?
Well, they think it's magic.
The book rate of, like, one of these guys that want to cover up like that is like 1 out of every 50. Mm-hmm. Like, I've had so many inquiries for them.
Well, and quite often they're from far away.
Oh, yeah. And it's like they're expecting to get on the phone and have somebody sell them some magic cure. It doesn't fucking work like that.
Yeah.
You have to put in the time. So that's part of why a lot of artists don't want to take these on, because it's like, yeah, sure, maybe it's possible, but not with everyone. Mm-hmm. Just because, like, you're only as good as your dance partner in this, and if you got a bad client or you got a client that can't make the sessions, then you got nothing.
Right.
It's never going to happen. So I would say I would recommend a lot of patience and finding an artist that you get along well with and just kind of experimenting. And, you know, it's that or you travel to someone who does cover-ups every day, and you're going to be paying a shitload of money either way. So if it's about money, like, you got to stop trying to save money.
Yeah.
Because you've already done that by the looks of things. Like, I would recommend just buckle down and pay what it costs to get a good cover-up.